Here we are at 983 Pineland Avenue. This is a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath home with an extra room slash bonus slash office. It's just shy of an acre of land. Heated square feet is 1787. You've got the 1-car garage. You've got architectural shingles or a 30-year roof here. So far it looks good. It looks like there is some staining here on the front. You can see, I feel like it does show up pretty well actually. And then you can see the difference because you don't really see it here, but that massive water runoff right there on the front, on that big slope, you can see that there. Exterior portion of the HVAC. It's humming. Just getting in here. I haven't read them all yet, but I'm just getting in here for us. So we do have this chain link across the back. Little hole in the siding here, not a big deal, something easy to fix. We are on a crawl space, so that's nice. It'll make it easier to do things from one end to the other via the crawl space versus having a slab. That back door right there goes into a storage area that also goes into the garage. That back door goes into the main portion of the house. You can see here we've got, I'm going to show you a couple of things actually. So this looks like we're right about on the property line with this fence. Back here they're going to be building. So do you see all the pipes coming up out of the ground and there's a road ran? It looks like they're going to be building houses through here. I'm not sure that there's going to be anything on this side. I think those are going to be backyards, but it's going to be through here, and it might be townhomes, it might be whatever. I'm not positive based on what I see there. But the roof back here looks good. You can see some runoff, but a lot of that shadow from the trees. You don't have overhanging branches, which is nice. There's access to the crawl space again there. One more spot on the vinyl. There it is. This house is up for rent currently. So yeah, if you want to let dogs out, you just really need to connect the fence down here, side to side. So these stairs are recently redone. This is all vinyl here. So as I'm walking around, this actually feels like it's just weathered. I'm not feeling anything soft yet. So it'll just need to be sealed. Looks pretty good. And as we make our way in, we've got this big wood door. There's a step up, and we have a nice little foyer. The lights are burnt out here. Coat closet. Foyer space. It's a little, I think it's a stain, so I'm just showing you that. Otherwise, this floor looks decent right here. And then as we come in, we've got our living area. You've got a texture ceiling. It's knockdown texture, so that's nice and fairly modern actually. You've got some crown the two fans here are outlets in the floors. And this is, the floor is like an engineered wood that's probably builder grade. This is what we saw in a lot of houses, but it's not really used anymore since a lot of builders have gone to that luxury vinyl plant. And you can just see where there's a couple, let me see if it'll show up. There's some swelling on the floor. There, you can kind of see it there, right where that light is going over it. There's some here. Just some swelling from moisture. Most likely somebody spilled a cup of water or something and it sat too long. At the back door, it looks pretty good. Nice built-in, and they've got, as you can see, there's some slide outs. All wood. This is an electric fireplace, so it looks like this was modified at some point in time. There might have been a gas or a wood burning, and they took that out and just put in this electric heater, so you can just turn it on and off. And it will work, like it'll give the ambiance from a fire, but also it has a heater, so it'll push out heat in the winter if you wanted some extra heat, which you're probably not going to use too often out here. So we've got this nice hefty mantle, pretty solid. And then of course we're looking into the kitchen. There's the two, well, I guess the one secondary bedroom, the office or flex room, and then you have your primary bedroom this way. Back here we have laundry past the kitchen and storage and garage. So we've got this really nice granite countertop, solid surface, the big ceramic 50-50 split sink. Somebody hung things by putting screws in the back, which is terrible. And then this would be an eating area.
This is your laundry room. This is pretty big in here. There's plenty of room for
More slide outs here. I am noticing that if I was to put a marble on the floor, it's going to roll towards the kitchen. And I don't know that I can really show you, but it is on a crawl space, so there is some flexibility as far as direction, I guess, on the floor, but I'm not feeling anything bounce or move. Could use a good clean. This is old and this is tiny. So you're going to need, if you want to replace this, you're going to need a specialty or maybe extend the cabinet out a little bit, which I don't think would be incredibly difficult, to be honest, since it's on the end. Here we've got a Lazy Susan. Under the sink, you can tell that there's been some water leaking at some point. Whether or not that's still active, I'm not positive. There's not, oh, there is water, good. They had it winterized, so. Now, obviously, if we get an inspection, they'll look at this too. I'm not feeling anything wet. Flip that over to the other side, where the garbage disposal is. I'm not feeling anything wet. That doesn't mean there's not an active leak, it's just, if anything, it's so slow, we're not seeing that. And it does seem like the floor is worn here a bit. Like I can kind of push. And I don't think that's subfloor at all. I think it's buckling here from the builder grade floor. Okay, so upper cabinets here. And again, all nice wood. This is really nice, real wood. Convenient. Convenient. And then you've got this smooth cooktop here. We've got some big, deep drawers just underneath that. do this so it doesn't get vent fan here. There's your wall oven. There is not a microwave. So sometimes with a wall oven, you'll see a built-in microwave. So I just want to point out that there isn't one, which means you would need to put one on a countertop somewhere. The drawers are lined, so that's nice. They're moving really well. I'm super impressed with the quality of the cabinets. Even if everything could use some love and a clean. Okay. So we'll show this. Yeah, when I walk over here by the sink, I can just feel, you know, unevenness, just literally right here. You can kind of see where it's buckling in this video, kind of right, let me get my finger. You can see some of that right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through here. This stuck a bit. So it's a step down. Don't almost fall like I did. I don't see anything going on here. Just a little silverfish decided to come out of the woodwork. And you can tell it was winterized. I can see some of the antifreeze that's been rinsed out. So it was at one point winterized, and now it's got water back up, which is nice. This is laminate here. Same cabinetry, laundry area. There's a water heater here. There's another one. So there's two. There's one in the master. Huge laundry area. And then as we go out this way, we've got nice solid steps. You can see the elevation of the house here because the garage is not elevated. But this is a quote unquote finished garage, meaning it's not just drywall, tape, and mud. They finished it by painting it. They did not finish it by putting the boards, you know, a lot of times there'll be like a baseboard here. Or like a 1x4 basically that's painted. It all looks really good and clean. No funny smells. These all feel solid. And then here's this additional storage area just off the garage. And again, this feels very solid. This is elevated. This is the interior portion of the HVAC. There is not a drip pan underneath, which is why we're seeing the rust. So this really should have a drip pan. And I'm just going to highlight all the labels. Looks like the manufacturer date on this is 2009. That doesn't mean the exterior is the same age. Looks like we just have some of that tape falling down. Otherwise, this room looks good. There's our outside. Secondary bedroom and bath. So here's our guest bath slash secondary bathroom. That is laminate on the floor. Looks like there was some drips at some point. I'm gonna just move that little sticker. See how that looks. Nice linen cabinet here. And it looks like you might have access to another outlet if you wanted. They ran one here. So they might have just moved it down and ran it. When I'm looking, I can see just below. You can see the wires running just below where that box is. So this has a slow drain, clearly. That thing is filling up. But I don't feel any moisture at all. Turn that off so we don't cause a problem. Drawers in here are great. Cabinets are the same as the kitchen, quality-wise. And then you've got this stand-up corner shower, so it's a nice small shower. Gives you some good working space in here. Here we are in the kitchen again, just looking at it with all the doors closed. I like that you can really see through and around the entire kitchen into the living area and the main living space. So this is our secondary bedroom, and it's decent sized. This is slightly above average for our area. The ceilings are pretty tall. This does have some stuff on the floor, and it's, ugh, bear with me, but you can see it's like coming up, so yuck. I don't know what it is, but it'll come up. Closet. This has the storage bench here. Closet. This does have exposed subfloor, so that would have to be addressed per the VA, which is an easy enough fix. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker for the seller to get that squared away in order to sell the house. Door's nice and wide here. This is that extra room or flex room, or quote, not a bedroom, unquote. The paint looks good. It looks like they have fresh paint in this house. And the only reason this isn't a bedroom is it doesn't have a closet, so they can't call it a bedroom. But obviously if you added a closet, voila. I really love the outlets on the floor. I'm a huge fan. But I like reclining couches. So here is access to the attic. And I'm just overall, I feel some unevenness in the floor, which is very common in a house with a crawl space. What we don't want is to feel flex, and I don't. The only spot I felt anything remotely close to that was in front of that kitchen sink, and that was more the floorboards from being warped and lifted than it didn't feel like subfloor issue. This floor looks pretty good in here. There's a little bit of swelling here and there. You see that? I mean, that one's very minor. This floor looks really good, other than being a little dirty. Big room, 2 ceiling fans, plenty of options. This is going to give you access to the plumbing so that you don't have to cut a hole. Luckily, there's already one there. So we've got plenty of storage under the sink here. It is a single vanity, but it does have a vanity makeup bench. It does not look like there's been any leaking under the sink. This looks like a product leaked. And there's a couple spots where there's something. Okay, the water I think is, we'll see if that trickles any more. It might be shut off under here. Okay, that looks good. These all move well. Okay, we've got this big mirror here. And this is a little interesting. I don't know if you love these, but I think they're super cool. And water heater. So there's our second one. It's just very interesting to have 2 water heaters in a house this size. Okay. In case you want to put your home phone plug in there. So this is one of these walk-in tubs. As you can see, you can walk in, sit down. It's got jets. It's really good for dealing with back issues and things like that. I don't see a shower head minus this, so just something to keep in mind. Obviously, you can take that out and change it up. Let me turn this water off. Okay. This feels great. I'm not feeling any soft spots. I feel some bounce when I walk, like just overall. Like it feels like maybe I weigh more than I do, but not soft. Whole. Okay. Back inside. AC feels good. And then stepping out front. That's the view from the front.